Coverage of the Innovation Prize for Africa is proudly brought to you by the African Innovation Foundation.
Hello and welcome. We're coming to you from Casablanca in the Kingdom of Morocco. The African Innovation Foundation has chosen this location to announce the winner of the 2015 Innovation Prize for Africa Award. Later in the program, we'll get to meet the winner, but first, I chat to Jean-Claude Bastos de Moret. He's the founder of the African Innovation Foundation. He tells me about the growth that he's seen in the competition, now in its 4th edition.
One of the most important things which we have seen over the years is that we have seen a drastic increase in quality. That has to do directly with the impact of, I call them also the ambassadors. Because if other innovators speak about innovation and about the price, you create a kind of a viral effect, and you're much more credible, because the people who get then this innovation prize all of a sudden speak about it and see what benefits they have had out of the prize, like visibility, investors which contact them, clients which all of a sudden are calling them, etc., etc.
So the quality, as you're saying, I want to get a sense of any trends or patterns that you've picked up, with regards to the entries that you've seen coming in over the last 4 years.
We have seen that due to the fact that the distribution of the information has been also a lot of used the digital way. We've seen more younger people and elder people picking that up. That's due to the fact that they are more sensible to the internet and to smartphone use. And therefore we've seen this year, for example, a much higher percentage in ICT than before. And I think this looks like a little trend to us.
What does this tell us about that particular sector, apart from the fact that that's where the growth clearly is?
Well, that's basically, it's telling us what happens all over in the world, and specifically in Africa. We have a lot of, if you look at our numbers, we have 1.1 billion people in Africa, and over 60% are 19 and below. So you have a lot of young people which unfortunately do not have all a job. So what they do is they use the internet, they use the smartphones and phones in order to communicate, and they get then their ideas with what with the ability to have what they have. If you compare the elder Africans, they don't understand how to use the phone, and what we see is we have a lot of enabling ideas which come up, how to help the farmers via mobile apps or whatever. So this is a new trend which is coming, which is very important, because we see that it can shorten the logistic problem we have in Africa, because due to that it can create a new trend how the farmers or other business people can be viewed.
I want to bring you back. You mentioned, for instance, that some of the winners get contacted by investors. Yeah. What else does winning this award do, apart from the significant amount of money that there is to be won? What else has it done for the past winners?
I think it gave them a kind of a... One thing which I wanted to do, I wanted to create this African innovation spirit. And I think most of them, they picked it up. So they became proud inventors, innovation people. So we created kind of a little family, and so they feel more proud about what they do than before. That's something which I've noticed. And another thing is that they have been able to show what they can do to the people, thanks to the news, and thanks to journalists which also see what happens. So they have picked that up, and I can see a lot of positivity. They also trigger new kind of expertise which is needed, like lawyers, accountants, and things like that, because their idea, the people see this innovation and they see how can we then bring that to the market. And as the ecosystem is not as strong as in Europe or the US, people pick it up, and you create like little entrepreneurs which try to team up with them, and they say, listen, I can help you to do that. I'm an accountant, or I'm the lawyer, I do that for free, but if that becomes a company. And then you see that some partnerships have been formed between a potential entrepreneur and an inventor. So we see kind of an ecosystem forming.
I want to bring you to something you've said before, and that's, if I may be misquoting you here, but you talked about support for innovation or innovators in Africa, and how it's not the same on this continent as it is in the rest of the world.
Yeah, what I wanted to say with this is basically that it's first, they don't have a lot of platforms. I think we are one of the few platforms, but the real complication is the aftermath. I mean, what happens after? And there, the ecosystems in Africa are very weak at the time being, and so they don't have the support. They don't have their nest, if you want. Where do they fly once they start flying? Where they do land? Where they do create and procreate? And I think that's what I wanted to say. That's a real problem, a serious problem, which we have to address, and which the foundation has decided to address from the next edition onwards. We are preparing everything, but that's going to be our next challenge.
You also mentioned the fact that you are getting a lot of support from governments, and given the fact that you do interact with governments, like we saw you interacting with the minister from Morocco here, what would you be advising them to do? Because you work with the innovators on the ground.
Yeah, one of the advice is that they listen to what the innovators have to say and to their needs, and that they adapt the programs according to the needs of the innovators. And in this program, you have to create a kind of accelerator initiatives or hubs where they can meet physically. So one of the first things to do is to give them infrastructure. And once they have this infrastructure, they can meet, I think most of them, they will be kind of self-organized if there's kind of an organic growth which is going to happen, but you have to give them space, because most of them, they come from various places and don't have this infrastructure and don't have the money to pay the rent, which in African cities is now increasingly high. So that's the first thing, to give infrastructure.
Morocco is one country leading in encouraging innovation. The government is spending money on things like research institutions that help locals develop their ideas. We got to meet some of the country's brightest minds.
Welcome to the virtual world of virtual exhibitions. So we are organizing the first virtual trade show in the construction industry worldwide. Our solution is the only solution that is mobile friendly worldwide. You may find other solutions related to virtual events, but they are neither adapted to the industrial activities nor to laptops, mobile devices.
This product, when you touch the water, okay, you transform it like this. Okay? You make 500% more with the water. Okay? It's very good for the plant because you save 90% the water, saver water. Okay? Okay. And for the plant, you can make inside with the resin, okay, like that. And after, you can make this in the head. Now, this plant, she have one reserve of water and fertilizer.
The aim of our project is to valorize Moroccan clay by using this as reinforcement in thermoplastic materials like this. For example, this without clay and this with 20% clay. We can improve mechanical and thermal properties, and so we can decrease the importation for inorganic materials by substituting these materials by Moroccan clay.
We developed this product, a blood pressure monitor, which is smart because it can be controlled by the application inside the all smartphone, Android, iOS, and the BlackBerry as well.
Morocco is also investing in research and development. Testament to that is the Moroccan Foundation for Advanced Science, Innovation and Research.
So Massir is this non-for-profit foundation created by the Moroccan government. It was part of a much broader effort to bring Morocco to the forefront of innovation in Africa. So there was multiple initiatives from the government, one of which was to create a state-of-the-art institute doing research in advanced technologies. So Massir was created back in 2007. It was made thanks to an investment of approximately $50 million in 3 major areas: biotechnology, nanomaterials, and microelectronics. And since 2007, Massir has invested approximately $15 million in equipment and now has 120 people, scientists, working full-time for developing innovation for Africa. So we are today at a stage where we are seeing some of our innovation come into the market. And so one of them is a plastic additive that makes plastic bags biodegradable, which is a major problem for Morocco, but I know for a lot of African countries as well. We have also diagnosis kits for leukemia and one for breast cancer that is coming to the market very soon.
The AIF seeks to catalyze the innovation spirit in Africa. In the aim of cultivating needs-based innovation, part of the program included a brainstorming session, one just fit for Africa's creatives. At this workshop, participants provide solutions to real African problems in an outdoor environment with a lot of stimulus.
The thought was, first of all, to have a clear idea of what we were looking for, then to make sure that we had a very diverse group of people to answer the questions, to make sure they were motivated, and then to run a 3-step process where we first collect 1,000, 2,000 ideas, then in the second part identify good ideas, and in the third process step then decide which ideas we really like. The word idea means to see something, and if you sit in a room and you discuss, you don't see anything and there's no inspiration. So what we do is we look at the viewpoint from many viewpoints, simple viewpoints, and collect a large amount of inspiration. Non-confrontational, it's fun, it's fast, and you get reliable results at the push of a button.
After the break, young Africans tell us about the innovation they dream of and hope to see on the continent one day. Welcome back. You're watching special coverage of the 2015 Innovation Prize for Africa Awards. Africa has the highest youth population in the world. With such demographics, it is important to embrace the thinking of the continent's young people. Some of them who attended the IPA Awards shared their wildest dreams with us.
I'd like to see a car that is powered by fuel generated from recycled waste.
I'd like to see an innovation where we stop growing plants on land, free up space, and then look at other alternatives like growing plants in the skies or in different planets to feed the continent and to feed the whole world.
I would like to hear that Africans are the first to use gas, to use water instead of gas with cars.
The innovation I like to see in Africa is Africa having 100% solar energy production.
The innovation that I want to see in Africa is the increasing of the bamboo. Why Africans cannot do great buildings with bamboo?
Well, I want to see Africa reach a point where we can be able to download food.
While these youngsters hope to get their hands on the IPA award in the future, past winners tell us what the award did for them.
The greatest gift for us was the credibility it lent to us, which immediately boosted our image in the local marketplace in South Africa. And of course, we were able to increase our revenue, increase our market presence.
The other thing is we got substantial public relations and exposure, media exposure because of the prize, and from that we're able to leverage, and over the period of the past year we've been able to turn the company around in terms of we've managed to develop 3 additional products with the support of the other resources around us.
This year saw a record 925 entries from 41 countries. The bulk of these were from the ICT sector, with 28% of entries. environment, energy and water making up 21% of entries, health and well-being 17%, agriculture 15%, manufacturing and service 14%, and 5% being from across sectors. The winners were announced in a glittering ceremony attended by 400 people that included high-level African dignitaries, venture capitalists, innovators, local and international media. Also in attendance was Senegalese musical legend Youssour N'Dour.
The second prize winner for the Innovation Prize for Africa 2015,
Alex Malloy, a Kenyan entrepreneur, developed a system to meet the enduring challenge faced by African farmers in accessing funds. Through his Farm Capital Africa project, Malloy provides an alternative from the burden of financial loans.
Africa has very unique social problems, and it means that only Africans can really come up with the solutions that we need here. And that's why it's very important for platforms like this that help innovators to come and showcase what can be done for Africa by Africans. And I believe that's what really it's all about. For us, we realized there was a big problem with small-scale farmers in Africa. They do not have access to traditional sources of financing like loans from banks and microfinance institutions because they have very low credit ratings, really, when you think about it. So they're doomed, almost most of them, to stay poor and to stay small because they cannot expand their businesses. So we found a different way to fix the problem, which is to connect them with investors for a share of the profits from the harvest that they make. So instead of asking for collateral or anything like that, we just give them the money based on their potential and then do other things to mitigate the risk and help them grow at the end of the day. Winning this award for us means a lot because we're actually at a stage in the business where we need to invest in a few things here, operations, technology, to help increase our scale and thereby be able to access more farmers and investors. So this money actually is going to really help cushion us from all those costs that are about to come up.
Leslie Erica Scott.
Today, TB is second only to HIV and AIDS as a leading cause of death on the continent. Leslie Scott, a South African scientist, developed a WHO-approved calibration method for TB diagnostic machines. The device examines the accuracy of machines used to detect TB. This will make diagnosing the disease far easier.
Africans do need to innovate because Africans know what the problems are that they need to solve, and this is proof, this event is proof that we can do it. And the diversity of all the innovation shows that we really have it in us to do it. And as you said, yes, women can do it, and women are an important part of our culture and part of our innovation. And I must say I'm completely overwhelmed. I am a university professor. I've worked hard to get here and I haven't actually had time to think about the hugeness of this, but I want to make sure that other women, other innovators, young or old, make sure that they don't lose their hope, they continue to believe, and they focus on African problems because we will have the solution.
The grand prize, the winner of the Innovation Prize for Africa in 2015 is
Mr. Adnan Rahman.
Moroccan-born Adnan Rahman developed a natural formula that reduces the health hazard to cattle and humans and prevents the transmission of multi-resistant germs and possible carcinogens through meat products to humans. The solution, which comes at no extra cost to farmers, is an alternative to livestock antibiotics.
Le prix pour moi est une consécration de 27
This is an award related to the results of 27 years of R&D. During this period of 27 years, I had the privilege to work, and I would like to thank as well my students, colleagues, graduate students.
Depuis toujours, je considère
I'm still believing that African innovators are comparable and similar to innovators from other continents.
Ce qui nous manquait auparavant,
prior to the internet age, we were in lack of information, but right now, given the globalization, the access to information, we can perform researches in the most effective way, so as to really enhance our skills and abilities to go forward with the innovation.
Donc il faut valoriser, et grâce aux chercheurs, grâce
We need to value our core capabilities, our core industries, in order to transform raw materials into products that have greatest value and that will certainly create several job opportunities for either students or graduated students. I would like to recall a French proverb which says that you can't sell the skin of the bear before killing him. And a friend of mine with the greatest experience, especially in innovation, said that, and if you can't sell the skin of the bear prior to killing him, no need to kill him. Yeah. So I would advise other African innovators to do the research with objectives, specific objectives of development, of maximizing value, not just doing the research for the research itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, $100,000 US, the grand prize winner of the Innovation Prize for Africa.
Sharing his sentiments on this year's overall winner, Chairman of the Board for the AIF says this innovation will not only serve Africa, but the world.
About 10 years ago, I was involved in trying to find answers to replace antibiotica for animals. And at that time in Europe, we tried with Artemisia. It was so hard to find somebody. And then my daughter, she's an animal doctor, she told me, "You're crazy what you want, because half of the income of the veterinarians in Europe is selling antibiotica to animals, medicaments. So nobody will do such a study. And nobody is interested. And now governments have decided in Europe that the meat-producing animals should not be medicated with antibiotica. And that is the solution.
The program director for the awards says she was thrilled at how this year's nominees and winners were representative of all demographics of African society.
Like the winner who went home with the grand prize is actually have innovation that is a world-class innovation. We also have a young person who is under 30, and we had a woman. So for me, again, as a woman, I feel very happy that we, for once, in its fourth edition, IPA had a woman winner. But what I wanted was to mention all those winners were picked because they are the best. It wasn't because they were young or women. I was about the innovations and what innovation can do for Africa and the rest of the world.
In bringing to a close yet another successful awards ceremony, the African Innovation Foundation's founder wraps it up with these final words.
I would like to make a call out and say, please, please send us next year all your applications, because it can be you.